Hello, my name is Michael, aka GoodNo1se, and I'll be playing Cody, who's on the right side of the screen.
Hello, I am not Michael, aka It's Bites. I will be commentating the May side of the game.
And what is going on, NoReset? I am also not a Michael. I'm Ian, aka Papa Yan, and I'll be commentating about the Cody side of the run.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We're going to get underway fast and dirty with the first probably like 8, 9, 10 minutes of this run. It's going to be constant, crazy tricks, and then everything's going to relax, take a deep breath for a little bit. We're going to start off at the beginning of the run here with something which is one of the few glitches that we kind of work with in this run. It's a very heavy movement-based style run in It Takes Two. A very nice movement style based game. There's so much cool stuff you can do. An item state glitch is what we call this, where normally you have to go through a bit of a tutorial section of the game, chase down those fuses that popped out of the breaker, and put them back in. By resetting from checkpoint when Cody picks those up, it'll trick the game into thinking he's got multiple, and he can just put them into multiple spots, and we can get through to the next section, which is biting the dust.
Yeah, so the main kind of movement in this game, you're going to see a lot, which are slide jumps. These basically just broke the entire run itself. You can see it gain speed. You can get all this height from getting really. How do I even describe it? Like we get all this speed, we crouch, we jump. Oh no, little flub, but it's all right. This is a race section, so only one person has to get to the top here. So thankfully, both players are going for this. But slide jumps are pretty broken. Climbing this entire wall, there's no death barriers loaded in yet, and they're gonna get this checkpoint, which catches up everything. You can switch FPS here for the next boss, which is the vacuum.
You know, very interesting how the game is structured in the sense of a lot of times you go through the levels, you gather your checkpoints, and you keep on progressing the story. Things will load in and go that way. So there's a bit of a nice blend between certain areas of the game where you have to have both players get somewhere at the same time, where they both have to collect a checkpoint, versus an example right there. Only one player has to get there, and then you can reset from checkpoint, which it loads all the extra checkpoints you might have missed, and it can bring the other player there. So in a couple of different cases, there are races for players just to see who can get there first and who can beat their partner in being faster. So it creates a little bit of fun competition. But in this, our first boss that we go through in the game, the Vacuum Tower, we'll see a FPS strat taking place against this boss, where usually we'll run the game on 120 FPS. However, certain things in the game, a very select few of them, will be made easier or faster by having lower FPS. So by switching down to 30 FPS in this, it makes this last button mash section that we see right here to get his own arms into his eyes. Boom, explosion. We're going to be on to the depths. Yeah, it's something weird about FPS with this game. We found a lot of interesting things, and you'll see some more of them along the way.
So this level, we're going to start over with another restart checkpoint, so we can switch the FPS back to 120 and get some more slide jumps that breaks the game open into this dark area out of bounds. We're gonna go back in bounds eventually. It's fine. This is also a one-player checkpoint, so no matter what, someone's gonna get out, and it's not gonna be either of them. No worries though. This section is really short, so no matter what happens, you can get through it. The shed is almost the. Is it the fastest chapter? Yeah, it is. 3 minutes. But yeah, this is a fast-paced chapter. Almost the most optimal run out of the entire game. And here, GoodNo1se is gonna get into the checkpoint, restart from checkpoint, and we're gonna get our abilities.
We move on to the abilities here, and
Hi, just host here for a second. I just wanted to apologize for absolutely murdering your names before it started. I had never heard them. I am so damn sorry. But if anyone wants to have their name murdered by a French girl, I'm here all night. So get your donations in, and I will absolutely wreck your name.
Oh, it's all good. Understandable.
No, I was honestly, I was giggling a little bit when it was like GoodNo1se.
heard.
I was like trying to stifle it. I was like, that's awesome.
So hard. I really didn't get the noise.
It's all good.
It is all good.
All good, like his noise.
I've had my name be called like Papayan and stuff like that before, so
I think
that's
we're
crazy.
good.
You got it.
Oh man.
I
Yeah,
mean, that looked pretty wild with the back bike at the end, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, to quickly preface what just happened there, so that was back bike. Normally in this game, rails usually love to send you in a particular direction. In that section there, we go up, we get on the rails, and we start doing a section of frog jump. So we jump and dash at the same time to try and fight the momentum of the rail and go backwards. Use that to collect some checkpoints that happened way earlier, which will allow us to actually spawn in the very end of the level, which is that shovel. So you can ground pound it and escape the shed and head on into the tree. Because right now, a little bit of the lore of the game. May and Cody have been turned into dolls magically because Rose, she made little doll figurines of the characters and tried to like May and Cody things are not doing so well. They're a little bit rough. They're getting a divorce and has made Rose, their daughter, very sad. She cried, it turned them into dolls, and they're kind of on a journey now to try and get back into turning into their normal selves, and that takes us into the tree where we find ourselves now.
And so this is where things take a turn in the game, where now we have abilities. So Cody has this sap gun, while May has this match gun, and together combined, they just make these huge explosions. We're going to use that for later sections of the game, but for now, it's all just using the weight of the sap over all these platforms, as well as using the match to activate certain levers or these wheels. And we're going to go out of bounds using what we use from the momentum of this game, what we call an oyster launch, where name unrelated, but gives us a huge speed boost on the geometry of the levels using the slide jumps, which again completely break this game. And we're going to get to this first minigame warp, which is why we have this in the any percent category. Now both players are going to be splitting off. This is why this is a really unique kind of speedrun, where it's a co-op adventure, and both players are going to be going off on their own kind of routes here to catch up checkpoints that normally would be advanced later on in the game, but for some reason minigames just allow you to catch everything up. And so we're going to get GoodNo1se to this first checkpoint. Meanwhile, going completely in the dark, using May's match gun to get a little bit of light. And here's,
very, very close on GoodNo1se. The GoodNo1se is trying to do a wall clip here. Gets it second try. Let's go, buddy. It's a very interesting one there. You work with the interactions with the rails, and you can trick the game into allowing you to grab that one through the wall just because of how thin it is, by looking at the one rail and instantly 180ing and looking the other way and grabbing it and pulling you through the wall.
Yeah, and that trick is done on 30 FPS. So during these load times, GoodNo1se is changing his options down to get a larger window of interaction time. And now is just another race segment of this game, where only one player needs to get to the end, but both players doing a pretty good job of themselves right now, climbing this wall. Because for some reason, in this particular part of the subchapter, the last checkpoint is always active. So we just go slide all the way down to the end of this section, and there should be a fade out with a checkpoint, and they just restart checkpoint. Now everything's caught up, and we're on to the next section. And that was the entire gauntlet of this early game, and we get some smooth sailing for this boat.
Ha! Ha! Ha!
Nice. Good one.
Got it again.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
You guys can breathe. You guys got through shed.
They're all yours, Cap. I'll steer the boat. Hold on
Pretty intense. Well, yeah.
If I've learned anything about your guys' runs at this point, it may look dirty at the beginning, but it's still going to come out to a good time at the end.
We're not here for a good time, we're here for a good time.
Hey.
Oh, I see you, I see you.
Yeah,
There's gonna be a lot of these auto scrollers in tree, so a lot of steam to cool off.
Hey,
Now
I got
would
a
be,
question for you guys.
yes.
Chat is saying that they don't hear Glint.
Oh.
Are you speaking Glint? Because there's a lot of voices here. I don't know who's who. You are speaking? Okay, I'll go check the console to see if there's a reason why people don't hear you. Give me a sec.
Muted on stream, buddy.
Oh no.
I'm sure we'll get it sorted. It always finds a way of working itself out in the end. See, another interesting thing that we'll another interesting thing that we'll notice in this game too is that there are certain areas that are heavily cycle based, and this section coming up with, spoiler alert, tornadoes. Anytime you reset from checkpoint or can get a reset off of a chapter select, you'll often get cycles. So in this room with the tornadoes going all crazy, never fear, we just have a route that will take through the room because the tornadoes will always start and run through the same positions off of that reset from checkpoint that we do a little bit earlier on, and when we spawn into the room and all the bees start going crazy, and well, wasps I should say, and start making their tornadoes.
I'm just gonna clear the way with the maze match gun. He's just killing these larvas that are trying to bomb us. It's very interesting what kind of enemies they throw at us in this game. You never know what you're gonna be attacked
Wide
by.
variety, yeah.
That was a mixed bag.
The MLG shot when it hits those.
Well done, well done, well done, well done.
Too good.
So tell me, Mr. GoodNo1se, I know it was actually, and I'm actually curious about this one myself too, but this is also interview style for the whole chat. Was this the first game that you've ever speedran before?
Yes, this is the first game that I've taken seriously speedrunning, at least. I've casually tried speedrunning some other games, but this is the one that I've really sunk a lot of time into for sure.
Love
Those,
Just that good.
Those who don't know, GoodNo1se also does solo co-op. He's a solo co-op god. That's what he started doing when he got into the community immediately. And here, they're just gonna skip one section of platforming. Usually there would be these lanterns that you would shoot with the sap and the match. But we just shoot the second one immediately and you get a checkpoint from it. And you just get through this tunnel to this last lantern. And this is also not really much of a race segment, but as long as both players are at the end, there is a cycle on this next auto scroller.
Yeah.
Where
We should have some good audio for everyone now.
Awesome.
We found the issue, so thank you for staying put. Thank you, everyone. It's all good.
Glint's
Excellent.
back. Yeah, these fireflies are just gonna send them flying.
Oh my god.
That was not a
I'm
pun.
gonna start a tally.
I didn't even mean
Get
for it
it!
to be a pun. Oh,
Get him!
I almost
Get him before he gets around!
like,
We got it.
We get these.
The giant fish.
Oh.
Looks like
Hyper!
kind of catfish.
turn on your ears.
Hyper, you stinky!
Well, catfish aren't dangerous.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
Well,
no, but you're showing up everywhere. Come on, you guys don't hear Glint?
I mean, we all do in the call. Interesting.
No.
Yeah,
It's just swimming.
strange.
Fish do. Just stay on its back.
Glint is runner 2.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think they gave Geelint and GoodNo1se the same link. And that was the issue. So now
Yeah.
GoodNo1se is player 1 and Geelint is player 2.
Yeah,
That
you know why he's
comes
player
you,
1?
Glenn
Because
Scott.
Cody's are better. Oh, no.
Oh. I didn't say it.
Well, I have to say it. I'm the Cody side commentator. Oh my
I
goodness.
play both May and Cody. So, I'm neutral in the whole situation.
Name, honestly.
Is there any was there any shout outs to other games that you've speedrun, Glint, that you'd like me to give to the rest of the chat right now since they can't hear you yourself? Anything you'd like me to relay? Yeah, Portal's kind of sick.
Portal 2 is kind of sick, yeah.
Portal 2's kind of sick as well.
No, so far behind. I'm coming.
The mail mold.
Glint's also an Advent demo runner for a lot of games like Blue Fire, and as well as running full games like Sheepo and things like that. So shout out to that community.
Oh, Glint's here. Oh,
Did you guys hear him for real? For real this time?
Oh, I was looking at chat. Am I gonna make it?
No, Glint!
you make it.
I make it. Okay.
Wait,
That's warp.
I
made it.
Alright, so everyone can be heard now?
Only one way out.
Yes? Sweet.
I'm back.
Fingers crossed.
Give
go. That's huge.
Yeah,
We
get
figured it
another
out.
auto scroller. Yeah, every time
Yeah.
we can come back to the game for real. We're just back in another auto scroller. This is tree, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Well, we would have had a donation segment a while ago, but we were figuring out audio issues, so we could probably do one here for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but any donations to read? All right, no, awesome. So, a bunch of wasps on screen.
Yeah.
We dodged them expertly by standing in one safe spot. There's going to be a
little
couple
safe
of those in a different run.
That's just the advent of speedrunning. Play the game as little as possible.
Exactly.
As quickly as possible. Yeah, no, coming up to the top of this elevator, basically, kind of the lore of this section of the game is that we're trying to infiltrate into the Wasp's fortress and figure out what had happened to an agent that the squirrels of the tree had set into the tree as the Wasps were invading all of their homes, and they gave us the equipment, the gear that we've been using in the sap gun and the matchstick gun, and so we've been using those to our advantage to solve puzzles and work along the way. And now we get into our giant beetle fight, which really the only tech involved with this one is just making sure that you fill up all of these different sap reservoirs in a timely manner so that the matchstick gun can be used to blow them up. So GoodNo1se doing a very good job there of keeping him over top of that one. And ooh, very late, but still good job there. If you can hold him over top of that one, because you can kind of trade off aggro there as he goes back and forth. If you keep him over top of the reservoirs, you can get him on the same reservoir twice as we just saw. So good job from the boys there. And just, yeah, kill him in the least amount of cycles. Because as we've definitely learned, there's more than a couple of times that a bad beetle fight can just cause things to go a full level of chaos you never expected.
Very true.
I'm using all of
Give
my
them
shot
molds
now.
with it.
Some wild clips of the beetle doing some wacky stuff out there.
We love the beetle.
I
Yeah.
do love the beetle.
What's his name again? Did we give him a name?
Probably
beetle have
Hector.
a-
Hector?
Heck,
Yeah.
Hector
that
for his
sounds
nectar.
right. Yeah.
You had to do it too.
Yeah, I had to do another one, you know. If there's gonna be a counter, I have to try.
I'm fire tonight.
If I had $1, then we'd be hitting our 5K incentive for all the admins to be able to do the hot no, just kidding. That is a really cool incentive, though. I'm excited to see them hit that.
All right, we're gonna get Calm Gold Extermination really quick. We did a bunch of wasp science a little bit earlier today.
Dude.
So
Yeah, I was watching the whole time, and it's pretty speedy.
Then
Everything
please,
goes
Bites,
well.
take it away. I can't wait to lean back and watch this.
Yeah, this is the wasp's queen. So it might not look like a wasp, but it's definitely one. All the wasps in this nest think that this is their one true queen. So what we're gonna do here is combine the sap gun and matchstick once again, and this time, for an odd reason, the sap being spread along more than one area causes more damage to be done in each of these armor plates, and all these armor plates have a fixed amount of health individually. So we're just gonna go piece by piece, front bottom, back bottom, and now we're just gonna work on the back and chest area. And since there's these auto scroller sections in between, you can't really control hitting all of them at once because these are just kind of scripted in their own ways due to the health bar as well. So combining all of these as well as pre-sapping all these wasps, getting good cycles, just deleting everything can be done pretty fast. So now they're gonna try and link from the front to the back.
And shoot.
Linking from the front to the back
Nice,
allows them to break this back piece as well. So all they have to worry about is the front, which should be at least one whole blob or a blob and a half.
We just gotta try to get there early. There's gonna be, in this last phase, there's just like a wall of wasps, but if you can kind of manipulate them in a way that's beneficial, you can kind of sneak some goo onto the front chest plate, and then you can blow it up really quick.
Yeah.
Since we just need like one big blob on there to finish it off.
Just need
I
to
think you're good
stick
to
it
go,
in
by
there
the way.
for a second. I'm going.
Hey guys.
From
Hi. Yeah, okay. Can I interrupt for a sec? Did I hear you talk about incentives? I'm sorry, we're looking into the technical issues and we're a limited staff tonight at the NoReset HQ, so I just overheard incentive for a sec. Did y'all have questions about those incentives?
I just want to know how hot the hot sauce is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's freaking hot. So I'll put it in chat, and they have stolo units, which I'm not sure exactly what that refers to, because at this point, I'm super white, and just a low is like too much for me. So at this point, it just stops making sense because it's just too big numbers.
How hot is it? Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Tier True starts at 32k stolo units, which I don't know, sounds hot.
It's a decent
But
amount of...
they have 9 tiers, so yeah, it's gonna get hotter and hotter in here.
Oh
The
boy.
next one will be reached at will be reached at 5k. So we're a little under. We're $411 away from the tier 3.
Oh, surprise! We're out of bounds.
It's dark out here. Get me out.
No, thank you very much for letting us know about all that and giving the chat all the great info. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
No
also,
problem.
if you have some donations to read, we will literally be flying in a straight line for 3 minutes. So now would be a great time to read some.
Well, I don't have any, but now would be a great time to give some, especially if you wanna have some sleepy admins just trying to eat all that hot sauce live on camera for all. I'm kind of secretly hoping that we'll reach that milestone before they're like fully awake, because that will just be so much fun.
Everybody wake up the donators.
Yeah. Come in one and all.
This was an interesting skip to develop as well from the community. Lots of work went into finding out how to get through one freaking hole at the end. Just to skip a squirrel boss fight and a hang glider auto scroller. Thankfully, those are just skipped and saved about like a minute and a half, I want to say.
Yeah, it's a significant amount of time.
I just love how every iteration of this skip has just been further and further back down the tunnel. It's like, okay, yeah, cool, we're gonna skip that section. But wait, what if we did it earlier? But wait, what if we did it even earlier? Hold up! And then Coconut came in and said, yeah, let's just do it at the start.
Yeah. It's kind of funny
Thought they would.
that the last way we thought of getting out of bounds is just going through a giant hole in the wall, but we don't question it at all.
Like, this thing's right at the beginning of the tunnel, and we're like, no, it's fine.
We'll go halfway down through the tunnel, then we'll clip out of bounds, and then we'll be good. But yeah. So basically what's going to happen here is next to this yellow light, there's a checkpoint trigger that we're going to hit, and then we're going to head over to this wire frame of a house that's in the background over there. We can't actually end the level by just flying over there. We have to get this checkpoint just before the end, before we do. So you'll see in the bottom right hand of your screen, any second here, saving. There we go. We got the checkpoint. Now we're going to head over to the house, and we'll actually be able to finish the chapter. And we're actually going to try to show you something funny. You want to try to show this off, GoodNo1se?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Let's see if we can show this off.
I have never
Done this?
actually done it successfully, but we'll give it a shot.
I'll shoot my
gotta
gun,
have-
so hopefully you can.
You gotta follow the bullets.
Okay.
Or we turn them up
So yeah,
a little bit more.
so normally this would be, since we're kind of triggering this cutscene not how you're supposed to, it's gonna act a little weird. So first off, you can see the house is just see through, but also the fact that
And
we
there
can, still,
it is.
we can still fly the plane in the cutscene, which is kind of interesting. So
I love
that's kind of
singles
cool.
every time.
Everybody loves that one. But yeah, that's the end of Tree. So we're gonna head over into Rose's room now.
And that was Auto Scroller Central.
Yeah.
Now we get to some of the more meat to the bones of this game. Recent development of the route. There's a new skip in the next section after this.
I'm getting stuck on everything.
This is just a bunch of frog jumps, as we call them, where you jump and dash at the same time, and dashes to get through this room as fast as possible. And thankfully, there's a checkpoint at the end, so if one player is struggling, they can get caught up with a checkpoint. And now we just got to do this hacking section, always the same patterns no matter what. So runners just memorize which directions to go, whatever
Harder than it
code they
looks.
are. Yep. Hacking is hard. We can't counter hack this.
One day we'll get into the mainframe.
On to Spaced Out.
Oh boy. One of the most recent and biggest skips found in this game. Huge shout outs to Lamura for finding this and basically skipping an entire sub chapter of this game. So this is Spaced Out, and so the players are going to go a little bit out of bounds there in the side on the side of May in order to get across the bridge. Well done. Ground pound through the center of the gravity field to get a checkpoint trigger. And normally, the way that this level would be naturally played is you would go level by level, going into portals and activating them to power up the gravitation field to go all the way up to the top and get to the top and fight Moon Baboon. But now, Cody is going to go into the gravity field in a small state, but the game thinks that he grew to full size, but because he's small, it launches him at an absolutely incredible rate. He's going to launch, he's going to use those lights that just showed up on the horizon of the Earth there as a guide, ground pound onto what is, surprise, the UFO, which is actually loaded in from the beginning of Spaced Out, so you can land on top of it and surprise, you're inside of it. So you can go all the way to the end here because he landed into the checkpoint area, got it, died, reset from checkpoint, spawns him in the UFO, and voila, you skip. UFO skip, which is found, which is a out of bounds section of blind platforming. You skip the entire fight sections against Moon Baboon, and they got really good RNG for the first couple of blasts there. Because this last section is literally just chase him down, shoot him, and go on into hopscotch.
Yeah, we skipped one blind section for a whole nother blind section of platforming.
Funny how that works.
Get into the UFO. Yeah, shoutouts to Lemura and Snuggles. Snuggles finding the bug or the glitch to allow Cody to stay shrunk inside the elevator. Community
Hey there.
effort.
Can I interrupt you?
Yes.
You have to buy a repair.
Yeah, I got a donation from Manix, $10, and he says, Glint? Glint?
Yeah.
Are you here, Glint?
Can you hear me?
Thank you for your donation. Keep him coming.
Well, that's just fine.
Well done, Good Noise.
Yeah.
King of the blocks. Good
Oh.
noise.
Yeah, it's
Sir.
in the blocks.
How far the mighty have fallen. I remember the days when Glint used to absolutely slap people in our race days with that.
Yeah, and then they found a faster way of doing it, which I'm really bad at. So
Oh no!
Hey, what's going on here? Glint is going out of bounds once again, using the rails to get over some pillows. We can get to batting team, which is another minigame warp in this game, catching up every checkpoint up to this point as well. And with that, you're allowed to get to these fidget spinners. We love this section. We love fidget spinners. They're the best toys, the fidget toys ever created. Don't at me. But we're gonna use them to
oh, I'm stuck.
break this level pretty much wide open as well. Getting to this out of bounds section through this hole and to the end. So say goodbye to the fidget toys. They're gone. And we're going to kind of a content warning. This section is pretty flashy.
Yeah.
It's a kaleidoscope.
Any photosensitive viewers turn away for like the next minute or so.
You know, the first time that I played through this section, it definitely made me a little bit motion sick. I'm fortunate that I'm not photosensitive, but yeah, the colors can be a little bit interesting. Oh, his Glint
More
falls
flashing
inside.
lights.
Oh no! Yeah, this is Kaleidoscope. It's essentially a section where you go through the tunnels, you connect different patterns to each other and activate certain sections. Fortunately, there is a backup, again, courtesy of the slide jumps, which just carry so much momentum and also allow us to do a jump and a dash as Good Noise just decides
Homie,
to die,
we're
but
Bring it home.
there you go. Oh my
Appreciate
goodness.
The assistance.
the help there. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and you just keep slogging your way through this section, connecting all the patterns, and eventually you will get to the final Kaleidoscope Tower, and it will be a series of slide.
Whoa.
It'll be a
A little bit of light
series
speed.
of slide jumps in order to ascend to the tower and escape and head into Train Station, which is the shortest subchapter of the game.
What's real anymore? Who am I?
Is it?
Together, Cody.
I feel like there's still something that is shorter. But maybe it is.
Train station.
Is it train station?
The train station's like 25, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be very surprised if there's something shorter than train station. I think the next fastest, funnily enough, is actually Wired Up, which doesn't feel like it, but Wired Up is like 27, and then I think it's followed by Wake Up Call.
Yeah.
And like Depths is in there somewhere too.
But
Yeah,
anyway, we're in
welcome.
train station.
Welcome to Train Station. Cody is going to run straight for this little doll, and usually you would go and collect all the dolls, put them on their turnstile locations, always getting fancy with it. But what Cody can do here is he can look at one of these spots, jump, and place it down on the
There
other.
it
The
is.
game somehow thinks that you're putting the doll on both of them, so you can actually just use that one doll to do 3 different locations, and just boom, you're done with Train Station.
Look like the way to the castle.
Trust me.
Just that easy.
This is something that
Lemon
I told
squeezy.
others that we should
Setting
practice
the
today.
stage could be faster now. That's what. Setting the stage is like 25 seconds as well.
Content warning for Kaleidoscope is over, by the way, if anybody still had their eyes closed.
Oh, yeah.
The red one on the platform.
We're in
See some
dinosaur land
cute
now. It's very
dinosaurs.
cool.
Yeah.
I told GoodNo1se that we should have practiced this earlier, and I completely forgot. So we'll see how this goes.
Remember half the body.
Half the body. If this goes correct, we're gonna see my little cool red dinosaur here clip through a block.
If he doesn't go through the first time, just go up down. Should be fine.
Whee!
Oh, nice.
We don't need to practice.
Oh, we're fine.
First try every time. No doubts.
Practice?
Talking about practice.
Let's get a quick gold.
Yeah, using the dino or the big dino, grabbing these bones. For some reason, with the blocks, when the red dino, the small one, is in a falling state, it can phase through the side of the blocks themselves. And GoodNo1se did a little bit of a skip there, where usually the 2D
Just a little, just a little
bit of a skip.
Do a little skipping.
I mean, looking at it from a different perspective, the viewer, it's very little. But you know, if you play the game casual, that's a lot. But usually it's a 2D platforming player that interacts with that lever. But with a little bit of platforming magic, you can skip all of that with a slide jump.
Yeah. Slide jumps definitely are just absolutely broken. I know Bites and Papa Yon pushed that pretty early on in the run, but there was a period of time right when this game came out where we didn't know that they existed. And as soon as we figured out they were a thing that we could do, it like shaved minutes off of the run. It was insane. So it's definitely a very cool movement mechanic, and it honestly just makes the run more fun to do. So
yeah, and the game's about to be a whole year old.
True. Anniversary's coming up next week.
Next week. Development has been solid for the speedrun. Proud of the movie.
And for those of you that are interested in the anniversary event itself and all that's going to be taken part of it, be sure to come join the ITT Speedrunning Discord and follow along with the events. There's a lot of fantastic stuff being put towards by a lot of awesome contributors in the mod team. So be sure to come around if you're enjoying the run so far and come see the fantastic stuff and lineup that's being put forth. And spoiler alert, I hear GoodNo1se is going to be a part of it.
Oh, is that so? That's news to me.
Showing all the penguins.
yeah, penguins in chat.
Shout out to Hype. Penguin Man, my partner in
Shout
this
out
game.
to the slime bucket
My
that we
duo,
just passed.
my Cody.
So we're about to fight this octopus boss, and people. Actually, no. I was gonna say some people like this boss and some people hate. Everyone hates this boss.
Yeah, no.
It's. I don't want to say it's RNG. I just want to say it's extremely precise. But there is a cycle that you can get. We call it 2-cycle, which saves about 15 seconds. But you have to land like every cannon shot, and if you can't just like spam click on the cannon because you can accidentally like buffer shots incorrectly and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, so usually between these phases, you're allowed at least like one shot during the cutscene. This octopus takes a set amount of hits. We're not looking at the health, we're just kind of counting the hits itself. Sometimes not really voluntarily. But once you see the health here,
Enhance?
it should be good.
Looks good.
Should be good. But yeah. That's the only part where we pay attention to the health. Since once we get past the halfway point of the octopus, it's just trying to get the rhythm down of these cannons, trying to hit every shot, and as long as none of them miss or you're not offbeat, should be fine in getting this 2 seconds. So this last one, once the octopus emerges for the last time, we'll see if GoodNo1se got this.
Lining it up, flipping.
Getting as close
Did we
to
get him?
the octopus as possible, so you
Forwards.
guarantee they hit every shot.
Oh, come on. Easy money. Well done.
Alright, did
GG.
Thank you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
man.
Can
Yeah,
I
that's-
interrupt y'all for a sec?
Go for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, okay, alright. We got a donation from Nexus, $20, and he says, shout out French runners on this game. Well, shout out to them indeed. Thank you for your donation.
And Nexus is, believe, an inbound winner in this game?
Yes, I believe he runs with his brother. It's very cool.
Yeah.
His brother run inbounds, which is awesome.
Oh, that's adorable. Thank you, Nexus.
Oh, thank you indeed. Well, Welcome to the greatest show, and hopefully these runners can make it very great indeed. Right off the bat, they're going to go and do a frog jump into a slide jump. Oh, let's go. To get around the outside of the wall and use it to clip into the death barrier and the spawn barrier on the far side, and they do. So as soon as they touch the green cushions high enough up them, fall down, and then spawn back in. And oh my god, that's also
Beautiful
a perfect balloons. Let's go. My goodness, this is a stark contrast to the practice on the other day. Well done.
You don't have to.
Yeah, we don't talk about that one. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, the balloons will get the better of anybody, honestly. But essentially, the gimmick of this entire subchapter is taking this marble along with you to the end because you want to pop the clown balloon that is going to be holding up the bridge that's stopping the trolley cart from getting over to the Queen's Castle. So coming up here, we're going to have Cody heading towards the end. Cody's going to traverse the balloons, set his death checkpoint over on those cushions on the far side, use the slide jump to come back over, grab the ball, go over, die, and because he has his death checkpoint set over there, he spawns over there with the ball, because when you touch the little side piece of the wood, instead of going all the way up onto the top, it doesn't set your checkpoint back over to there. So they use the ball, they kill the clown, and now they can ride the trolley cart all the way across the bridge to Once Upon a Time, which will then, after that, lead us into Dungeon Crawler.
I love this co-op game.
Cooperative. Also, we should probably talk about the lore of this chapter, and
Oh no! I forgot.
because we've been talking about the divorce and stuff. Relationship's not going too great. So, since we're dolls right now, we obviously don't want to be dolls anymore.
Wow.
I know it's like kind of cool and all, but we have like lives to live and stuff like that. So we're trying to not be dolls anymore, and our current objective is to make our daughter cry, because how we got turned into dolls in the first place is she cried on us, or cried on the dolls themselves, which caused them to, or like caused us to become the dolls. So we're gonna go kind of mess around with her toy a little bit and see if I'll make her cry a little bit at all. That cute elephant up there, actually.
And
Is
spoiler
anything-
alert, none of the stuff that Glint did there is actually necessary. He just likes to look really cool. So
Because in the lore, anything that Cody and May interact with in the real world is also.
I didn't say my part.
Oh no! Is also something that is parallel to the real world. So destroying this toy in this fantasy world destroys it in the real world for some reason.
You're welcome.
Even though the rest of these sections are pure fantasy, like this is Dungeon Crawler, similar to Lost Ark, recent game to kind of compare this to, or Path of Exile, or Diablo, whatever.
It's the wrong one. We go down here.
Yeah, this subchapter itself is not healthy for keyboard players for these angles. So both players are opting to play with controllers. Cody lagging behind because he's got this teeny tiny teleport boost, while May just gets this Chad flame dash.
I don't like how much emphasis you put on how small my dash is.
did your dash make you feel inadequate, GoodNo1se?
Look, man, I'm just trying. I'm doing my best out here. All right.
Oh! Hey, sometimes a big dash is not a good thing. Okay?
It's not the size of the dash; it's how you use.
Oh my god. So yeah, spoiler
Doesn't even
alert.
matter.
This that's actually, you just have to wait until the doll gets to you at the end so you can reset from checkpoint when they fall to their death in the lava. So you can do that section actually as fast as you want, but when you get to the end you still have to wait for the doll to catch up. So as long as you're not slow enough for the doll to kill you, you're A-okay. Coming into the Immortal Troll here. Again, similar to the giant beetle from earlier in Tree, the troll is just going to trade aggro between the players as... What happened, Glenn? What happened?
Sorry, my dash isn't working. It's on
Oh,
airplane.
Don't you just hate it when that happens? Oh, yeah. So the troll's gonna trade aggro between the characters. All you have to do is make sure.
Health is not looking good.
What is going on, boys?
Oh, we are.
No, we're fine.
We're a-okay. There's
Yeah.
We're doing
no
a-
issues here.
Doing a little trolling.
There you go. Oh no. But very well done on the troll fight there. Basically, you just get him to fall into the center, and you have to work together to try and kill his hands at a very similar time, because if you don't get them at the same time, he will respawn them and bring them back up. And now with the king and queen fight, this is RNG. So everybody start praying and see if we get some good
Oh
RNG.
my
So
God.
far it's been really good, because what happens here is that the... Oh, come on, it's still pretty good. It's still pretty good.
Follow the queen. Follow the
The
queen.
king is just going to follow the queen. The queen is going to go wherever the heck she darn well pleases. So you just got to hope that the queen will stay close to the door. All in all, pretty good. But we've definitely seen different RNGs before where the queen will literally stay within 4 blocks of the door. And it's ridiculous. But all in all, still a pretty good one there.
Speaking of the queen, this is also the queen. This is Cutie the elephant, Rose's favorite toy recently.
I will say, if you don't want spoilers for this game, stop watching for like a minute right now. And turn off your audio. Nothing is happening. Everything is okay.
Yes, if a bit of a content warning, if you don't like to see the dismemberment of stuffed animals, then you might want to look away for a little bit.
Her leg.
Some poor twisted soul at Hazelight put this scene in, and we have yet to be able to find a skip for it. So this just gives us emotional damage, like every time that we have to get to this part of the run.
Don't worry, she's a dictator. She has to go.
Yeah.
Where's the...
Where's the copy pasta? Alien!
I'm going...
I forgot my notes. I was gonna read the copy pasta.
I got it.
Yeah, we have to.
Cutie is not as cute as she seems.
Here, I got it right there, Jan, in the...
Hidden behind a veneer of cuteness is a dictatorship. The queen monitors her people through surveillance that extends into space. She manipulates her people with a facade of being a cute elephant while executing and torturing her political opponents. To the very end, when the revolution catches up with her, she's pleading to this fake persona to save her own life, whilst being completely unfeeling to the thousands that perished in her dungeons.
Basically, she's got to go. And, we're just doing it. We're just doing the world a service, okay?
Yep.
I'm not coping at all. This is fine.
There is good reason.
I love this scene in Lion King.
Where they just twerk Mufasa off the cliff. Yeah. I love that scene.
All right, and we're out of Rose's
right?
right.
Yep,
Yeah.
clock.
Yep, clock.
All right, clock.
Take
This
it away,
is-
Bites.
This is a chapter where May really shines with her abilities. So May has this ability to clone herself, and this allows her to kind of give herself more of a height boost. Whether she is putting a clone in the air, she can recall to it, or if she clones and lands on the ground, she can refresh her double jump. Oh, they're gonna swap over here. Got the bad RNG.
Oh,
These
man,
false slides.
good noise.
That's fast.
Good noises
Yeah,
cracking these out. And with these clones, actually, we're going to be using it on this next section, which is also a new development in the route. Also, again, shoutouts to Lemura for finding this. Another 40 seconds gone in the last route we had here. So what we're going to do here is use the Hell Tower, which is a side mini game in this area, while Geelint earlier put a clone over the rails, and with those rails we lose control, and for some reason also gain invincibility from death planes, so they just completely ignored the water that was there. And now they're going out of bounds, back inbounds, to get to this next section here on this elevator, allowing us to get to the birds.
Section of the cutscene.
You gonna dash in there? Oh, you got it.
Obligatory.
Fancy, fancy.
So, if you haven't seen the run, you might be thinking, why aren't they going to the towers? Those are obviously the objective. But none of the assets in the tower. Good drift. None of the assets in the towers are loaded.
Oh,
So it's fine.
Fine.
Like the bird.
Good.
my
Good.
bird. Yeah.
They're gonna have both players use this bell to clip out of bounds once again and bring their birds with them. And with this, we're gonna try to dodge the triggers in this area that pull you up to the surface. There are none at all on this right side, so they're just kind of free to go to the end of the right tower puzzle, skipping it entirely. But still no checkpoint. Nothing's loaded on the other tower, so what they're going to do here is they're going to destroy this right tower, and they're going to get this checkpoint here. Now everything on the left tower is loaded, and they're going to go straight to that. And thankfully, because this is from a checkpoint, they'll be on a good cycle, because this puzzle, well, quote unquote puzzle, is on a global cycle from the checkpoint itself. Now we're just gonna go through it.
Praise be to checkpoints and resetting the cycles. And another great example of how the slide jumps have really broken this game apart, because here in this tower, the whole gimmick is that the big clock there, whichever color it is on, is what platforms will actually be able to be stood upon. So normally you'd have to wait for the particular colors to be available. You jump across, you do them one at a time. But here with the slide jumps, we're able to actually skip over them initially, so we can just use the red ones to get all the way from one side to the other without having to worry about green and blue, and it just makes things so much easier, so much faster, especially off of that global cycle. So now that we've broken off both of the shield generators that were doing the large bubble over the base of the clock tower, we can now go up and bring the dolls inside once again, because we are just trying to get the dolls all the way to the end, because the whole gimmick of this chapter, again, trying to make them meet, trying to bring them back together, because that's all Dr. Hakim wants. Dr. Hakim wants May and Cody to get back together, because Dr. Hakim is actually a book that Rose bought, that intending to give it to her mom and dad because she thinks that the book of love will bring them back together and stop them from fighting, which is what's making her sad.
Funnily enough, we only had one doll up there rather than both of them, so maybe both dolls aren't going to meet together after all.
Hey, do something!
Alright, but instead of that, we're just going to go through a tiny auto-scroller into one of the many biggest skips in this run. No prages, only wicked.
Only wicked.
No bridges. Can we get a combination of the both, honestly, at this point? Like, wicked prage?
So what's going to be going on here? Normally, in the casual route, both players are supposed to be gathering 2 keys to wind up this central hub that they're going to be going up to get to a bull boss, which we named Wallace in the community, from one of the tricks that are coming up in this skip as well. And this is going to be a bull skip. So this is mainly going to be a May thing. And what they're going to be doing is Cody is going to be saving frames for May, because those are very important in this run. This game is very graphics intense. So even if you have a good computer, still might some drops. But here we're gonna go out of bounds immediately and try and clip back inbounds to this bull room and climb through the side, making sure you don't fall. You save.
Good save, good save.
Oh, the commentator's curse was almost real.
He's gonna attempt Wallace skip, which is
let's go.
Jumping over the wall, ground pounding, and he's out.
Excellent.
completely dodged the entire bull. Well, there he is. He didn't
God,
really
I love
dodge him.
bull skip.
And it also advances a little bit farther into the corridor here. This is a long hallway, and the checkpoint just completely ignores it. And here is another example of Maze Clone being a little bit broken, where you just go across this gap. Oh, just a little too early. Here, May button.
Oh yeah, you stay there.
We didn't not falling for that again.
Come with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming down the hallway here towards this elevator again. This is a bit more of an AFK-able section due to something that we found here, where the checkpoints for the doors actually extend out the sides. So if you go up there, one person goes inside and the other person just jumps out to the side past the threshold of where the door is in line with itself there, you can trigger the game to think that both players are inside, and now GoodNo1se can just jump around and frolic freely, and then Geelint is totally safe to friggin' grab a drink of water, do whatever he wants to do until we get to the very top of the tower. And at the top of this, there'll be a reset from checkpoint for another one of our global cycle-based things. So before we get up to the top of this, was there any quick donations before we get up to the top of the tower here?
Hey there, I actually don't have donations to read right now. I know it's the graveyard shift, but if you guys want to see some sleepy admins sniffing some hot sauce, then I suggest you get your donations in. And you're supporting a great cause. Les Petits Rois is an amazing charity that helps people with intellectual disabilities. And we're really, really happy to partner with them again this year.
Oh, GoodNo1se.
So close.
He's doing so well.
Almost deathless.
Right, fun cycle-based section time.
Fun cycle-based section. We're going to get our first of our sports commentaries, so gear up and get ready, folks. It's time for the fast rope section. So coming into this, the boys are going to jump off the first thing. They're going to go off a little bit of trampoline there, grab onto the first rail. They're going to use their frog jumps to get a little bit of speed, grab onto the first one here. Both of them are going to be neck and neck here as they go through the first cycle-based section there. These ropes are always going to be in the same position so they can tether onto them as they please onto the next section here. That last thing in the distance is their goal. Can they get to it before it swings over to the left-hand side? They're going to grab it the last win, and they're good! Oh my good God almighty! Let's go. Yeah, so that's fast ropes. And again, it's basically just a really fast-paced cycle-based thing where all those ropes and the parts that hang down that you can grab onto, they're always going to be in the same areas. So there's a certain section, if you grab onto the certain ones as they go into certain places, you'll get to the end and you can catch that last bar right before it swings over towards the door, and that's the quickest cycle that you can get into there. There's been other ways theorized. Like I remember we were using our rail cancel speed to see if you could potentially get a little bit further ahead. But so far, that's the fastest cycle we've found to that room. And so for both of them hitting that there, that's friggin' awesome. So well done, boys.
Thank you.
This might look like a boss fight, but you can literally just die and nothing will happen. So
Yeah, we can even both die at the same time, and it just keeps going.
Do it.
Okay.
go right now.
Sir, yes, sir.
Imagine if something happened.
Do now. Well, that's the first time that's at night. Like the classic marathon sentence.
That's never happened before. Yeah, this is the last one of the past. Very.
We live. It wasn't close at all. We're fine.
the heck?
Yeah, we're still not free from these auto scrollers. This is all this auto scroller waiting for each section to finish. This is the boss fight of the clock, where you just survive.
Yep, just dodge random obstacles.
Maze Clone pretty broken in this section at least.
Yeah.
Getting some invincibility frames. Cody fighting for his life.
Fighting for my life out here. Barely holding on.
Oh!
Oh!
Goodbye.
Not even close. We're fine.
You guys gonna pull out some alien tech out here?
I'll
Fastest
give
way
you better
down.
than alien tech.
Ooh,
Hopefully.
He's gonna squeeze through some gaps.
damageless.
What the heck, mate? What do we do now?
Let's see it.
Maybe this is our way out.
Crack
Okay.
it. Oh, there it is. There's one.
Oh, so
Aw.
close.
Alright,
This
this
one?
is a good one though. Nope.
Oh,
Okay.
no. Oh, this next one.
Nope.
No. All right,
Trying
on to the
to
next
test.
one.
Either way,
Balls?
yeah, man.
All
Oh.
right, got it.
Thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
In between. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Okay. We're gaining momentum. Okay.
You tried.
You guys still aren't gonna do the new tech, right?
We don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Put it fast. We had so much time.
Okay, I dash bottom left and then I run. I
You
kind of just run the whole time.
Run bottom left.
And then I just cut when I hit the middle of the clock. I'll do it right now.
Yeah.
New tech mid-marathon. Let's go.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Almost.
That's
For
over.
dash.
Oh.
Wait. Do with the bottom
Okay,
one or the
well.
right one? Bottom right?
That's it's.
Oh.
No,
Oh,
okay.
very
I
close.
tried. Yeah, that was for you, Bites.
Thank you.
Wait, no, I defeated myself.
No!
What's happening?
It's, I saw the bomb and I got so scared.
Oh
Okay,
no!
help me with this one. Help
How's
me.
the smiley face looking?
I'm helping.
How's the smiley face looking?
It's terrible.
This, I saw it. I saw it. It was in there. It was in there.
All right. Well, experiment.
I blame Bites for the time loss.
Experiment,
You're welcome.
experiment blade.
Yeah.
Becomes
it's
the
just
best
got
sound effect in
peer
the whole
pressure,
entire
so-
game.
That is a tasty explosion sound, though.
You know,
Alright, so yeah,
I still
the-
appreciate the effort.
Thank you.
The final section, blast from the past here. Really all that's going to happen here is that May is going to jump up onto the ledge there. Cody is controlling time, so he is controlling all of the locations of these platforms with his time control ability. So basically, Geelint is going to jump up, grab the edge of that board. He fell down and died, so it respawned him in a new location further along so that Cody can just send the platform to the very end. May jumps off, ground pounds to get into the catch basin for the checkpoint there a little bit earlier, and it triggers this mini cutscene right into Cody, sending the chime right into the heart of the clock. And we are going to be heading into Snow Globe in a hurry. So now, after all the trials and tribulations of what I think is one of the most thematically beautiful chapters in the game, we get into another beautiful one in Snow Globe. We're going to preface the first trick, though, that you're going to see. It is the tree jump, beginning of warming up. And so both these players, as soon as they spawn into Snow Globe, they're going to head off to the left. There's going to be a tree there. They're going to be doing what's called a snuggle slide, where if you initiate a crouch and then jump in a direction, when you land, you will be in a slide. And then you can initiate a slide jump out of that. So they are going to crouch. They're going to jump around and try and dash and land at the tip of a tree and slide jump off the very point of it. So we'll see if they can get it to happen here. We'll get onto the lower branch and use
That'll warm us up.
to the top branch. Oh, Geelint with the first try. It's very finicky, good noise. Oh, sometimes it'll just
Very close.
spit you out in weird ways. Oh, that looked so good. This trick is definitely up there as one of the more difficult in this game. There you go. So yeah, you're just using that to get momentum up out of bounds on top of some invisible walls. Very good job by both runners to get that there. It's a difficult one. Nice oyster off the top of the hill there to catch up a little bit and work their way through to the end of the ice skating section here and head on into Winter Village.
Yeah, Snow Globe is among the community probably one of the fan favorites of the run, but also pretty optimized. So everything is a little difficult to get through. Not always gonna be a first try, easy setup. There's always some kind of difficulty to anything. But this is Winter Village, so this is also like a fan favorite of what we do. We do community races, 1v1.
Do it for the town.
Usually, the runners would go to. Well, there's an end to this. There's all this platforming inbounds, going straight out of bounds after all of this. there's going to be a trigger that's somehow still out there that we can interact with.
God, good noise.
Let's pick
I
one.
The
love
movement is so clean.
Oh,
But
are you here alone,
since
Turtle?
GoodNo1se is the first one out, he's going to be climbing this mountain side here, getting straight to the trigger, and once he hits the trigger, the music will change. And because of that, there's this section at the end, which are the bobsleds. Usually, if you don't hit this trigger, the bobsleds are not interactable. So, good thing that the music changes as an indicator that you successfully got the trick. So we're going to slide under the track here and get to this floor clip under the tunnel to this vibing man. Look at him groove. And since GoodNo1se is here pretty early, he's going to link to the bobsleds here, allowing him to get double boost. Ooh.
Oh, you are gonna give me a heart attack at friggin' 3 in the morning, Glint. Like,
So now that
Can I go
GoodNo1se,
first?
yeah, you go first.
Oh yeah.
GoodNo1se is linked to both bobsleds by the soul. Anytime that Glint hits a boost, it also gives the boost to GoodNo1se again. So now he's gonna get double the boosts, and he won't lose that much speed because of how much the spacing between the two. So now I'm just gonna go through another auto scroller. Glint try to attempt to get out of bounds by hitting the invisible walls on the side, but that is also something that is uncontrollable. It can save a little bit of time. And now it's just a little auto scroller. We're gonna go through a whale. You guys don't like seeing the insides of the animals.
Look, we
We
know.
are.
open wide.
Nom nom nom. Any toys? They completely gutted this whale to get boosts.
Talk about this man's diet. Like, who eats booster pads? ITT bobsled course and the new Mario Kart 8 booster course pass when?
True.
Yo, I heard, dude, Coconut Mall got dropped in the first set that came out today.
Yeah.
All my homies like Coconut Mall.
Oh, you
See ya.
phased through me like that. Okay. I was gonna let you
Get
pass,
dusted?
but you know, you can just alter your state of being and just phase through me. That's cool.
And here it comes beneath the ice.
Another
So in-
section where both players are gonna split off. So, Jan, wanna talk about GoodNo1se for a little bit?
Absolutely. So, GoodNo1se is going to head on over and try and get on top of this ice shelf here in order to get out of bounds and go underneath the water to get to one of the candy cane buttons out of bounds. And because right now, again, in this chapter, always be going for it. He thought he was going for the fancy stuff. My goodness. But yeah, no, I'll let you quick talk about what Glint's doing here before we get back to GoodNo1se. Oh, never mind. He's going to get his first try.
There's not
That's
enough
the
time.
hardest-
Oh my
That's the
god.
hardest
There's
jump
not
in the
enough
game.
time. I just need more time.
You just got it first try. He's just that
Should've,
good.
Should
That
have fed a little bit
is-
more. I want to describe it a little.
That is the hardest trick in this game. No cap. My pick for the hardest trick in this game. And Glint friggin' does it that well. My god.
Yeah, so BTI wall climb, very precise. There's a small ledge in the corner that Glint was doing his jump reset at. And we're going to get the ground pound in the cutscene, overlapping both checkpoints. And now both of these pipes are working. But BTI wall climb is very difficult. Getting jump refreshes twice, getting enough height over that wall. Props to Glint for getting that first try. That was insane.
Hey, Glint's kind of good at this game.
He's a
Marathon
gamer.
log gamer.
And this is Lenny.
Only been hit first try ever in marathons. So gotta keep the streak up.
Yeah, this is our friend Lenny. We learned at AGDQ that this fish is actually a female, so we had to do a bit of a name switch to Lenietta, but still kept it as Lenny for short.
Yeah.
All my homies hate Lenny.
All my homies do hate Lenny. Like, look
She's
at this.
hungry.
Speaking of which,
What you doing?
You
Get away
hungry?
from us.
Don't get in the light.
you're
good.
clear. Nice, easy.
And there's an interesting thing that happens with this last bolt, where if they place this magnet screwdriver, whatever it is,
Wrench.
yeah, this wrench. I don't know, dude. It doesn't look like a wrench to me. What is it? It's not a screwdriver. No,
Fair
I don't
enough.
know, dude.
A hammer.
I don't know what kind
Hammer.
of screwdrivers do you use. For them.
dude, I don't know.
Not fancy magnetic ones like you use, Glenn.
What do you mean?
But
That was a good BTI.
Yeah.
that last interaction, as long as you place it on top of the bolt
What a
and
wonderful
restart checkpoint,
view.
because of how far the players are from
A
that bolt,
360 view.
it'll just automatically
Yeah,
complete
I'm
it.
getting dizzy.
My god, good noises.
You guys see
Good noise.
Uh,
What was that?
Catch up.
Yeah, on Cody's screen, which we're looking at as a commentators, the camera is a little finicky when using controller.
Somehow
the god
caught up.
angles just can't. Oh,
Ow.
can't catch
Actually
up with the
insane.
camera.
Got the angles, bro.
Go fat gold. Let's go.
Oh, really?
And here comes Slippery Slopes, my pick for one of my favorite sub-chapters in the entire game. And here comes more commentary, because these players are off. They're going to ram their heads into the wall and use it to boost out of bounds over the top of the invisible wall. So far, both players using that down slope to gain some momentum. They're going to use their chain slides to work their way all the way down the hills. Both players going to go with the higher route there. Glint running into a little bit of a hiccup off to the left-hand side, but they're both still in good contention here. They're going to use the down slopes there. Good job by GoodNo1se. He's the first one out of the tree, clearing. Carrying the momentum through the chain slides. No tires blown yet. Oh, but he's going to hit the inside ledge of the ice there. Oh, that's going to be a little bit of a hiccup there. Glint works his way through the crack first. Both players heading over to Alien Chasm Skip. Who's going to carry the momentum better? GoodNo1se. Oh, he's going to blow it. Oh, no. GoodNo1se is going to go into turn 3 too far left.
Good. He's good.
Oh, he's
Jason!
He gates it.
It wait
Good
for me.
grief. They're going to now head over the ledge here. They're going to use this bottom icy rock here, and they're going to use it to carry themselves into another piece of their momentum there. If you can carry the chain slides all the way to the bottom. GoodNo1se. He's going to be over there a little bit. He's going to try and work his way back. He's going to try and bring it back right here at the end. Use the momentum. The nice angs. He's going to try and get up top. Glint's got the final piece of speed. Yeah, basically all they're looking for to get to the end of this is Glint falls and descends. They're looking for a checkpoint. Glint will be your winner, but again, it's a team sport. So you both want to get there as quickly as possible to get that checkpoint, which spawns you in here. We're going to get a brand new piece of tech, the rail cancel speed. You jump off, jump back on. It gives you
that's a
so
huge
much
one.
speed.
Oh,
We're going to launch around the outside of this cabin, spawn in on the other side of it, and that allows us to skip an unskippable about 15-odd second cutscene.
Yeah, this skips the unskippable cutscene once you break that magnet. There is one cutscene you can skip, but the one after, which, which activates the whole collapse of the mountain, is completely skipped.
And I was just having fun.
Fairly new. How long has it been? Almost 2 weeks, a week and a half, maybe.
About 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Time flies fast, and it
Yeah,
takes
it's
you-
really fast.
It takes about 2 weeks for skip
Yeah, nothing else to really say about this. We're just gonna grab these flags. This next section is really interesting, using the magnets. Inside the cave they go, skipping the cutscene with another restart checkpoint. So what they're gonna use now is their abilities with their magnets allow them to attract to each other. So this kind of skips a little bit of platforming between each of these sections. But now we're just gonna kind of completely break it again with a slide jump. We're gonna go out of bounds once again, and to the left of this whole area, there would be a whole section where both me and Cody fight against a snowstorm to climb to the elevator. But here we're just gonna skip through all that, to the side, just kind of get their dashes in. We use a lot of time dashes. If you notice, every other dash is a little boost of speed. It's the main movement in this game. I'm gonna mention this now when we're already out of like the halfway point.
Yeah. And that was Snow Globe. And I mean, basically, the lore for that chapter 2, as you can see there, it's the Snow Globe they took back as a souvenir from one of their favorite places along their journey. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and I always forget it, I'm pretty sure it's where Cody proposed to May, was at that ski
Yes.
resort.
Mhm.
So, a bit of a piece of the lore there. And again, a kind of a shift almost in how the game has built up to that point where,
Whatever it is,
oh my God, as
we
these
need to
players
get
are
rid
just,
of
oh, wait, no, Glint still has it. Nice. Oh, good noise. Oh, no. But, as the game kind of shifts more from them kind of having their differences to starting to kind of figure it out and enjoy each other's company again and kind of starting to work together again and having some good times, some better intentions towards each other than obviously the divorce that we're starting the game off with. But this is Green Fingers, the very start of Garden, which is again another Rock'em Sock'em fast chapter in this game. And essentially, both the players, they were going to use again the Snuggle Slide, which is similar to what we saw in Snow Globe, where they use those slide jumps out of a jump to be able to get up out of bounds out of the initial starting area. And now it's pretty much just a checkpoint scavenger hunt. They're going to go through the level. They're going to trigger a bunch of checkpoints by both players touching them, which allows them to stay up and pseudo out of bounds, pseudo inbounds on the tops of these brick walls, working their way through. And coming up, they're going to be using the side. Man, that was a crazy oyster. Well done, Glenn. They're going to climb up on these thorns to get on top of this piece of the shed here. This kind of like, actually wouldn't be a shed. It'd be, what would
It's
you
a
call it?
lattice.
It's a
the
what,
name of
sorry?
it. A lattice.
A lattice. There it
Yeah.
is. Yeah, they get on top of this lattice. And they continue to hunt for more checkpoints. And down to the bottom right would be a fight against the Burrower boss. And then there used to be a Burrower skip where you get out of bounds out of Burrower. But then this is now Burrower skip. Because you gather all these checkpoints, completely miss the Burrower. And you go all the way and kill this last piece of infection at the end. And start your journey through the greenhouse and all the way, eventually making your way to Joy near the end of the chapter. And so now we'll be on to weed whacking, where we're going to really see some disparity in the powers that the characters get throughout this game.
Yeah, may get some crazy abilities in the
We're gonna
game.
need some major weeding, mate.
Sad for Cody players.
By now.
Not getting a scythe to
Thank you
climb
for
with.
helping me out.
May's scythe is actually a little controversial. Not really much now than it was before, but
I just find it satisfying
her climbing
to
speed
anything in my way.
up slopes. She's
Lucky me, we're on the
she's
same team.
allowed to do this in the speedrun. But the higher FPS that the May player has, the faster and higher they're able to climb. So since we play at 120, it's a pretty good balance of how high we can climb. And with that, we're going to be using that for some platforming. But for here, it's just another race section. Doesn't really use any abilities anymore now. So we're going to go through the garden where normally we would be on top of spiders, casually, going through everything here. But nothing is loaded. Usually this would be a huge water spot, which is why these players are dying randomly in the air. The death planes are still active, but none of the assets are loaded. But you're fine. You got it. And there's one checkpoint that is active here.
Ooh.
We're getting into this arena, slide jumping out of it, and jumping out where Glint is at, spawns these pods, I guess, flying pods, and that triggers a checkpoint. And now both players are caught up and in battle mode.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh,
Because you
is
have
that
hold
a
these
one
down.
cycle?
Yeah, it was a one
I see.
cycle.
Oh
Two in
my
a,
goodness.
almost in a row. Probably 3 hits off. But Cody
Like
uses
with no small boys. That's it. Oh my god.
Wait, what?
It
That's
didn't
hilarious.
spawn any of them because he literally grabbed it twice.
It's my
Cody
Petits
has a
cool.
leaf.
Pause.
His leaf allows him to grab
Actually, no,
certain
that's kinda
objects, and his unique ability in this chapter as well is that if there are these pots on the floor, and if they are watered, Cody can pick over what kind of plant they are. Right now he's a cactus playing Plants vs. Zombies, or Plants vs. Plants in this case.
Hey.
I don't know,
Well,
man. Those plants are kind of screwed up.
Zombie plants. But
Thanks
yeah,
for
they're
having my
working
back,
together.
Petits.
Get all these infections out of the garden.
This is
That was,
very fast. Oh my god.
as we get into trespassing, which is mainly May focused, only from one part of this area. But both players are going to try to attempt to get out of bounds, seeing if May can get through.
I saw something.
Cody is just here as a backup, but trust in May.
No, it looks huge.
They go out of bounds, squeezing through a hole in the ceiling here, and using the scythe to climb the wall, kind of cutting some corners. And we're going to see a sound meter. So normally in this section, you'll be working together to avoid these sleeping moles, going through their tunnels, getting through to the greenhouse, which is all the way up there. Yeah, the sound meter is just avoiding everything as much as possible.
It's a good view of the greenhouse, just hanging out in the middle of nowhere.
Just casually. And again, like shout outs to the developers, like in the sense of like this has made finding skips and cool stuff like that, like just with assets being loaded into the game in certain areas, like the ability for us to find skips and things related to it, especially with the amount of collision that exists with objects in this game, just the way that the game is built, it feels and looks so good as far as like interacting with objects in the environment. Outside of every once in a while, there'll be something where you're like, man, I really wish I could run into that, but I can't. But for the most part, like this game, the movement, the way it's built, and just the skips we've been able to find have been super interesting so far. So a huge shout out to the developers, especially like Duck and the lot, who have all, and I mean, I'm blanking on some of the other names, but I know you guys know more of them. We'll give more shout outs too. But the developers who have been around since the very beginning as well too, as yes, we get gnomed, not a gnelf, not a gnoblin, it's a gnome. Shout outs to the developers again for all the stuff that they've been doing throughout this game, for helping us with the dev
Steinbeck.
menu, the tours,
Lucas as well.
Steinbeck, Lucas as
Stenbeck
well.
and Duck Monster.
It's very refreshing to have a community with developers that are so adept to the speedrunning.
Like, get your frog emotes out. We're going in the frog pond. We love this place. Also, another FPS based momentum trick. We're gonna get on this sloped surface and just use our frogs to fly across to the top of this tree, and we're out of bounds using the top
Unbench
of
the Kench. Unload the Toad. Defog the Pollywog. I don't know. There's another huge. Oh, it's like the big League of Legends copy pasta with Tom Kench. I freaking love it.
Far right, up far right, it's far right.
a little right.
Another minigame morph that we hunt for. Good old snail race. Fun fact, not slow at all. That minigame is actually one of the. I remember AJ grinding that at one point, and that minigame is actually nuts.
Yeah, using that minigame gets you on a checkpoint, which if any player touches, immediately brings you up the stairs that you're supposed to climb into the section. It's a pretty broken checkpoint, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it's Frog Pond. This chapter seems very short. It is not short at all. It's very long.
And it's only long because of this subchapter in particular. The longest being the boss fight, of course. So what both players are gonna be doing.
Homies hate joy.
Gonna be gardening these flower beds that are infected. We're gonna skip the bottom one and head straight to the top shelves because we don't need to touch the bottom one at all. It's gonna be a little bit of combat going on here. Get this flying pod over another one cycle. Oh, no. Attack speed was
Almost.
One right below on that might be a bit awkward. Oh, no, never mind.
Good.
No, the sign!
Oh, the sign!
Oh, we got him.
Oh, you
Okay.
got it.
Oh.
Nice.
You still get these.
I got screwed by the sign a little while ago, and yeah, I don't like that sign anymore.
And once again, watering the flower bed. from the infection, getting rid of any of the infected plants, and pretty good watering. No holes left behind. Everything is successful. Oh, what the? No, it looked so weird seeing May teleport like that. That is across. Oh my god. Yeah, the technique with May's Scythe in combat is that if you dash and attack almost together repeatedly, you get wicked fast attacks. And it's usually random how fast it goes because of reasons that I don't know. I can't really give a reason. We've tested a lot of things, whether it's like input or inputs per second or anything, but it's just
Down to the last.
generous whenever it feels like it.
Care to do the honors, Nate?
And on to the Joy boss fight.
Oh joy.
Oh joy. To quote our friend who is hyper, this boss fight is probably about, 7 or 8 minutes, give or take. Probably take. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, this section essentially, Cody is going to be transformed into various fruits and vegetables, and May is going to have to use her water gun in order to clean the infection out from the ground so that Cody can charge into the burrower towers that are spitting out all the venom and run into them, knock them back down to the ground, and eventually Cody is going to be able to ground pound, go inside of Joy and bring down the parts of her that are afflicted so that May can use the scythe to cut it out of her. And that's basically what happens here throughout this boss fight. There is a very large bounty out right now to find a skip. For
It took me like 3 years to break that. That's crazy.
Oh man.
There's a very large bounty out right now for anybody that finds the skip to this boss fight. And so, what do we know what it's actually sitting at right now?
We've come to save
I
you.
have no idea. It's like
I think it's close to 200 USD if you want to try and skip this
it's like
boss.
160.
Oh, I died.
Oh. It's okay. GoodNo1se has the safe spot, and again,
Yeah.
and again, we want to hit the least amount as possible for these boss fights.
Oh, I just got yoinked by the
It
plant.
just pushed you off.
I swear to God, this is not as hard as it looks. Alright. Okay, we should be fine.
You got it.
So is there any donations? Because this whole entire section with the Joy boss fight, it's very similar after these bulbs finish kind of whacking down. It's going to be another section of Cody doing his thing, rolling around as a potato, and then again more fighting against the bulbs, and then same thing with one final cycle after that. So any donations?
Hello there. No, actually, no donations, but we're still here. We're accepting them. We are raising money for La Fondation Les Petits Rois, which promotes the education and development of children with intellectual disabilities, whether or not they fall on the autism spectrum, throughout the entirety of their lives. They offer tools and support projects dedicated to providing them with stimulating, adapted environments that facilitate their paths towards a life of autonomy and personal growth. It's a great, great charity, and well, I know for some it is early, for some it is super late, but we're still accepting donations, and we'll be here all weekend. And thank you guys for providing such good quality entertainment. You guys are super fun. This is a great run. I love it. You're super energetic. I don't know how late it is at your place, but you'll have a lot of energy. We love it. We love to see it.
Oh, thank you.
What is going on? There we go.
Get on the rail!
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I did get confronted by my parents just a little while ago.
Oh.
That's why I went downstairs. I'm still surprised, even though that I didn't get in shit after the part of my French. I didn't get scolded for my loud commentary.
We appreciate your sacrifice, or your parents' sacrifice.
You guys want to know
Kid doing?
You guys want to know the craziest thing about this run right now? Bites and Papillon? Maybe even the runners in chat? No, we are only 14 seconds behind our PB.
Oh,
We
wow.
clawed our way back from like a minute behind.
Well, after that, the weed
can see the
whacking.
time
And
Yeah, the weed whacking
BTI.
saved like 28 seconds. It was
Oh
crazy.
my
Yeah.
god, okay.
Insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because this run, for anyone that's like watched or is familiar with this run has not been going that well. And the fact that we are only 13 behind or 14 seconds behind our PB is kind of crazy. I doubt this will PB for us because our end game is very, very strong.
Yeah,
But
can make
if we
it
do it,
stronger.
there is.
not that much stronger. Though.
Like Kelly Clarkson.
You guys know that
rule.
we know how to get. We just know how to get straight to grand finale from turn up. You gotta find out.
Yeah.
The secret mini game.
New skip unveiled right now.
I'll go to uncap and I'll do turn up skip.
You even watched the cutscene in Tree. This could have been.
Yeah.
Oh, true. Oh no.
Oh yeah, actually, we kind of forgot about that.
Spend like 30 seconds in there.
Oh, it's in spirit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
actually,
we love showing things off in marathons.
Oh yeah, of course.
absolutely, it's about the community. It's about the people. It's about the experience. So
Exactly.
glad that we could
Pause.
provide a good one.
All I'm saying is if we don't PB, it's Bites' fault for making me do the clock deck.
Oh, that too! Oh my god!
All because of the clock.
I got a question for you, lads.
Huh?
So I've seen this interview question go around a few different times. I'm curious your thoughts on it. I want you both to answer honestly. So first, Geelint, and then
Yeah.
GoodNo1se. So Geelint,
Uh-huh.
do you think in the world there are more wheels or doors?
Wheels. There's no question. It has to be wheels.
Wheels. Okay. GoodNo1se. Wheels or doors?
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many like
Cutscene was skipping.
vehicles
Hit the cutscene. That was repeat.
that have wheels that exist, so like it has to be wheels. This has to.
Okay.
If
Do
we
you
get
know the actual answer?
I do
Is
not.
there an actual answer? This is a debate. There is no answer.
if we get a
Only a conclusion.
Well, welcome folks to Attic, the final chapter of the game, and these players are going to get right to it, going for out of bounds. There's been a few different ways to get up, but essentially this is going to be another mini-game warp. Usually players would go up and there would be a series of 2 mini-game warps where they go up, find musical chairs, use it to go across some lights, and get over a massive invisible barrier to go find
wrong
Track
one.
Runner.
No, I
Or
went
you
the
guys
wrong
go to Tug of War?
they went to tug of
going.
war. Oh shit!
Oh, both
Going
of
back
you
to
picked
tree.
the wrong
You run it back. Run it back.
Wait, did we do RCP again?
I think
Wait,
you. I think
are we
you hit
RCPing
res-
infantry?
What's happening?
Dev menu? What is going on?
You're restarting mini game, you fool.
Oh,
Okay, go quick! Get the track runner. Everything is
Runner,
fine.
go.
It's actually funny. In the Discord, GoodNo1se went to musical chairs.
Why get musical chairs?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't click
Hovering
musical
over.
chairs. I was about to move my mouse to track runner, but then the menu disappeared from out under me.
Oh no. But yeah, no, and basically by doing what we did there, we skipped 2 entire sub-chapters of the game. So goodbye Symphony and goodbye Rehearsal. Now we move on to Turn Up, which you get this Rainbow
It's
Road
fine. I'm
type
fine.
section. Oh, Geelint is going so fast. And essentially, yeah, all you want to do is you want to keep, again, chaining your slide jumps, because the less time you spend on the road, the more time you spend in the air, the better. You lose so much momentum when you actually just slide along the road, but if you keep jumping as soon as you land, you keep a whole whack load of momentum. And so again, that's what these players are going to be doing here. Great job again by Geelint, the crazy amount of momentum. So there's that initial cut that you can do where you can kind of fall out the left side of that first corner, and it'll land you into the next section, and Geelint carried the momentum expertly. And now once again, I'm going to go through here, and if they can carry the slide jump momentum, they're going to crash into the railings and use it to bump over.
Nice.
Oh, expertly done.
Nice.
Nice.
Coming up is the auto scroller that we created. Both players are gonna slide jump through this wall that's not solid, skipping an entire platforming section along with a auto scroller disco ball. I guess survival. I don't know how to really describe it, but yeah, we drop all the way to the death plane here, and there's a respawn trigger past these barriers that they're both gonna use to respawn back at this elevator. No checkpoints really needed because the trigger for the next cutscene is always active. But yeah, get to see nothing in Attic entirely besides Rainbow Road and these last few sections. What they're going to do here is restart checkpoint and switch their FPS down to 30. These minigames in particular are sensitivity based, as well as mashing. Oh my god.
I just heard somebody mashing.
Joystick gyration going on there.
And so sensitivity is FPS based as well. The lower sensitivity, the lower FPS, the higher sensitivity you get, as well as the mashing sections here. Only take one input, or at least the bottom left one does. So there's that. The top right is the mashing section, which just like the vacuum boss from the beginning that you saw, doesn't take that many inputs. Oh no!
I'll be fine. I'm drinking and driving a little bit right now.
Some Guitar Hero.
Water.
Some DDR. Just dancing through, getting the crowd until they get this cable. You have another auto scroller in the game. What I will say is the last one in the run.
Flashbang?
No, wait, no. It's the kiss that's an auto scroller.
Oh, yeah. So second to last.
Spoilers!
The next section is going to be completely skipped with May. I'll describe it now while we're here in the tube. So what happens is in Grand Finale, or as I call it, Grand Spammy, you're going to be able to dash immediately out of the cutscene, where normally May and Cody are walking through an entire auto-scroller. They're forced walking, but for some reason, after skipping the cutscene, you're allowed one whole dash, and that's your one opportunity to absolutely destroy the entire level and go out of bounds. As long as you are not touching the ground within like a regular walking state, whether it's a dash, a frog jump, or any of the like, a regular jump, anything like that, and not touching the floor for one frame, you are free to go wherever you like. So Glenn's going to be using a combination of dashes, frog jumps, or jumps to get across obstacles to the final interaction. So we'll see how that goes.
As a note, time will be coming up in about 45 seconds-ish.
Skipping these last cutscenes. Getting the dashes out. He's out of the room. Dashing on invisible barriers on all of these obstacles. Into the final red carpet. As well as getting to the red
That was
curtain.
really good.
That was very good.
All right, so yes, as soon as our lips tooch, it'll be time.
Get their smooch on.
Yep.
All his hard work, trials, tribulations, the lore, the speed. It all comes down to the slowest embrace.
And time. That is time.
Yay.
Thank you for the GGs. Yeah, that's It Takes Two. Hopefully you enjoyed the run. If you did and are all interested in running the game potentially, you can check out the game on speedrun.com. There'll be links to our Discord, which is not full of resources, but hopefully we'll fill it at some point. And yeah, our community is super awesome. Everyone's super wholesome and super willing to help, at least right now, if you're learning the game. If this looked a little too out of boundsy for you, we do have other categories that are more inbounds focused, and there's other categories that focus on collecting more stuff in the game. So yeah, this game is really fun. If you like 3D platformers, I heavily recommend it. And I would recommend also just playing it casually, because this game won Game of the Year at the Game Awards last year, and that was for a reason. It is so good, and it is also an amazing speedrun. So yeah, check it out. Also,
Thank you so much for showcasing it for us this weekend. We really appreciate it. This was so much fun. Thank you for the commentary. Thank you for your participation. Are we waiting on in-game timer?
yeah, sure. If you want in-game time, we got a 1:31:24, which is really
Amazing.
close to what Hyper said. So good guess, Hyper.
Good job. Any final words?
Follow us all on Twitch. We all stream, and we're all really cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Geelint.
yeah.
GoodNo1se.
Can you
and,
put your
GoodNo1se.
names on chat?
This is me. I'm Glint.
Hi, Glint. Why is there so many E's in your name if you say Glint?
It's because Glint was taken.
Everything was taken.
This makes a lot of sense. I can see that.
May.
All
That's
right,
me.
we're
Bye.
gonna get to transition. We have a little break, and then we shall be back. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
you for having
you.
us.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
for
having
you.
us.
See you. Talk to you soon.
Bye.